Hello children, welcome to the online classes. In the previous session, I introduced you the topic conservation of plants and animals. What do you mean by conservation? Protecting or saving? What should we protect? We should protect the plants and animals around us. Why should we protect the plants and animals around us? Because the plants and animals we are using excessively, one fine day they will perish from the earth. Our future generations may not get these resources. That is why plants and animals, the natural resources on this earth, should be protected. First of all, how the plants and animals are getting destroyed, let us see. How the plants and animals are getting destroyed. First and foremost thing is, the plants and animals are getting destroyed by cutting down the trees. Cutting down the trees on a large scale. That is called deforestation. Cutting down the trees is called deforestation. Who is cutting down the trees? Human being is cutting down the trees. Not only human activities, some natural calamities also cause destruction of the forests. First, let us see the natural calamities. For example, tsunamis, earthquake, isn't it? In some places, the volcanic eruptions. All these are the natural calamities that destruct the plant and animal life because no government takes care of these wild plants and animals during these natural calamities, during these disasters. So, what to do? The man is responsible for this deforestation. Man is also cutting down the trees. Why man is clearing the forests? Because he wants to increase the area of his habitat, his living place. For that purpose, he is cutting down the trees to construct his houses. After constructing houses, he wants some industries for job purpose or for some production of goods. So, for industrialization, he is cutting down the trees. For getting wood for his furniture or for fuel purpose, man is cutting down the trees. For getting medicines, some edible parts, edible products, edible means eatable products, what not, everything from the forest. We are getting medicines, food, entertainment articles, wood for furniture and fuel, so on and so forth. And from animals we are getting horns, hooves, and skin. Skin is also used for the ornamental purpose, isn't it? So we are killing them for medicinal purpose, for extracting oil from their body or for getting some medicines. We are killing the animals brutally. Every year the animals are being hunted, either for some purpose or without any purpose, just for entertainment. It's so brutal. One fine day, all the animals or almost all the plants will perish from the earth. Then the man will be in a danger. Obviously, man also will perish. If all the organisms perish on this earth, if they disappear from the earth, there is no opportunity for man also to live. How can we get oxygen without plants? How can we get shade, food? First of all, we cannot get. So we have to take care of these plants and animals. Okay, deforestation because of human beings or natural calamities or different reasons are there. But what are the side effects? What are the bad effects of deforestation? Because of deforestation, carbon dioxide percentage will increase in the atmosphere and oxygen percentage will decrease. Because If plants are not there, the animals leave out carbon dioxide and that carbon dioxide percentage increases. Children, you have to observe a point here. Carbon dioxide absorbs infrared rays from the sun directly. By absorbing like that, carbon dioxide increases the temperature on the earth's surface. The earth is the only planet surrounded by atmosphere, a thick layer of atmosphere. In this atmosphere, carbon dioxide is there. It's actually 0.03% of carbon dioxide is there in the atmosphere. But if the carbon dioxide percentage increases, what happens? The carbon dioxide ultimately absorbs the infrared rays from the sun and causes rise in the temperature of the earth's surface. This rise in the temperature of the earth's surface is called global warming. As a result of global warming, we get several skin allergies, health will disturb, and plants cannot grow well. So, deforestation results in global warming. And air gets polluted, oxygen percentage decreases. Plants cannot leave out oxygen if they are not there. Oxygen percentage decreases. We cannot breathe properly. And the top layer of the soil, that is humus, will be washed away, because if trees are there, the soil will be hold to the roots of the trees. But if trees are not there, what happens to the soil? It is easily washed away. And rainfall also decreases. The rainfall obviously decreases. If there is no rainfall, the underground water level goes deep. We cannot get underground water also. Water scarcity. It leads to drought. Because of drought, all the plants and animals will die. Animals also get affected. They will die. They lose their shelter. So many animals living on these trees or in the tree trunks, they make holes and live there, isn't it? Or in the branches of the trees they live. Under the trees they get shelter. They lose their shelter. Animals lose their shelter. These are the side effects of deforestation. So what to do? We have to take care of the plants and animals. We should not cut down the trees. We should not kill the animals. Killing should be avoided. Then, is it possible for one or the other to take care of all these plants and animals? No, it's not. So, who has to take care of these plants and animals? Ultimately, the government has to take care of these plants and animals. That's why the government of India or any government of any country is taking care of these animals. They started biosphere reserves. Some areas where the plants and animals are growing extensively, that area they take into their control and they declare them as reserved areas. In these reserved areas, hunting is prohibited. Poaching of animals, killing of animals is strictly prohibited, and one should not cut down the trees. These are the rules implemented by the government. They declared some areas where different varieties of plants and animals are there. So many species of plants and animals are there around us. In particular area where a large mass of land is there, there we can see a number of plants and animals. So variety of plants and animals we can see. A number of species. So these species were taken care by the government. So that area is declared as biosphere reserve. In these biosphere reserves, again some national parks are there, wildlife sanctuaries are there. In wildlife sanctuaries, for animals some sanctuaries are there, bird sanctuaries are there, isn't it? National parks, Satpura National Park, Corbett National Park, Kaziranga National Park, Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, Ulopadu Bird Sanctuary. In Kolleru Lake Bird Sanctuary is there, Pulikat Lake Bird Sanctuary is there. These are the bird sanctuaries. Different bird sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries for animals, and national parks. All these are the protected areas for wild plants and animals. Pet animals and croplands we can take care of. But what about these wild plants and animals? They are taken care by the government. So those are the biosphere reserves, national parks, bird sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries for animals, etc. And some birds, the organisms that live in that forest, we consider them as flora and fauna. Flora and fauna. Flora means the plants living in a particular habitat, in a particular place, or fauna or the animals living in a particular place. So these flora and fauna should be protected because there are a number of species. What do you mean by species? Species are a group of organisms which can interbreed with each other. They have certain similarities and they can interbreed with each other. Those are called species. We all belong to human species, horse species, dog species. In that group, in species, all the organisms belong to the same category and they can interbreed with each other. Means a male can interbreed with a female and produce a young one. That is interbreeding. Is it clear? So a species is a group of animals with the similarities, with the similar characteristics that can interbreed with each other. There are a large variety of species in these biosphere reserves, national parks and sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries. So some birds, they themselves protect from the danger of extinction. What do you mean by extinction? Some organisms, they survived on this earth, but today they are not there. Those animals are called extinct animals. For example, I said already, woolly mammoth, stegosaurus, archaeopteryx, dinosaur. Yes, all these are the extinct animals. They are not there now, but today also some animals are in the danger of extinction. They may perish in the future. They may disappear from the earth. What are those? Pink-headed duck, elephant, tiger, white leopard. So many are there under the danger of extinction. So these animals are especially taken care by the government. Those animals are called endangered animals. Extinct animals means the animals already disappeared or perished from the earth. But endangered animals means the animals which are in the danger of extinction. Yes, endangered animals are there now, but a very less in number. Yes, so those animals should be taken care, otherwise they will disappear. That is the purpose of these biosphere reserves and wildlife sanctuaries and national parks. Some birds, they themselves protect. How? For example, the Siberian cranes, I said, from Russia, they fly away to the Kolleru lake for laying eggs because the climatic conditions are not suitable there in Russia and food also not available. So they fly thousands and thousands of kilometers and come to Kolleru lake. That area, they lay their eggs and they have their food and they fly away back to Russia. That much long distance they travel, that is called migration. Migration means moving away from their original habitat to another habitat for getting food or for favorable conditions. That is called migration. So by migrating, they protect themselves. Some animals live in a particular area. They are endemic species. Endemic means we cannot find them in other places. Only in that place we can see. They are confined to a particular area. They are called endemic species. For example, kiwis we can find in only New Zealand. Llama and alpaca only in South America. And kangaroo only in Australia. So like that, the animals are confined to that particular area. Especially we can see in that country only, in that place only. So they are called endemic species. they are also in the danger of extinction because they are not distributed geographically throughout the earth. Only in a particular area they are there, means they may be less in number. If they are less in number, they are in the danger of extinction because of human beings or natural calamities, so on and so forth. So these animals also must be taken care of the government of that particular area. Understood? So this is about conservation of plants and animals. On the whole, plants and animals must be conserved, must be protected. Why they should be protected? Because they are in the danger of extinction. Our future generations also should enjoy all the natural resources present on the earth. Otherwise, they will suffer a lot. They may not get sufficient oxygen, or global warming, they may face global warming. Because of global warming, they cannot grow crops, they cannot get food properly. It may lead to the death of human being finally. Final effect of this deforestation or killing of animals, cutting down the trees, is on human being only. Human being may be in the danger of extinction one day. That is why we should conserve the plants and animals. So it is not only the government duty, it is your duty, my duty, everyone's duty to conserve the plants and animals. It is our primary duty to conserve them. Hope you will conserve plants and animals, and you avoid cutting down the trees, killing the animals unnecessarily just for entertainment and all. And one more thing is, we can recycle the paper. Actually, we are cutting down the trees in the forest for pulp, wood pulp. With that wood pulp, we are making papers. Instead of throwing away the papers or burning away the papers, we can recycle the paper. If we recycle the paper, plants can be saved. A reforestation. By planting the trees, we can avoid deforestation. More and more plants we can grow in our surroundings. Children, on your birthday, you start growing a plant. You sow the plant. You plant it. It grows. It gives shelter. It gives fruit, flower, whatever it is, to your next generation. If it is a tree, it will be useful to the next kids, isn't it? Coming kids. So, you inculcate the habit of planting trees around you. Make your surroundings clean and green. Clean and green environment supports human life also. Hope you understood, children. Have a nice day.